See what the there. Alright, time for challenge. I was thinking of doing some like very vaguely puppet-like.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Hex from Voidxwitch. Maybe you know me, maybe you're stumbling across my strange corner of the internet for the first time. In either case, hi. I'm a Montreal-based artist making music I describe as heavy alt-pop from your weirdest nightmares. This video is a behind-the-scenes look at the making of my music video for my song Suffer Puppet, which was my biggest creative endeavor to date on all levels, practically, physically, and emotionally.
Use my motivation.
Suffer Puppet was the hardest song for me to write so far. If you haven't heard it yet, I recommend pausing here and checking it out on my channel. It's no secret that my music delves into dark and painful personal subjects, but this one felt the most vulnerable. But it needed to come out, and it needed to be loud and confrontational and cathartic. And so I knew the music video needed to be big. I wrote Suffer Puppet during a 10-hour train ride from Brooklyn to Montreal. I was coming back from seeing Johnny live. Johnny is an Australian artist and musician who has inspired me massively since I began this stage of my own creative journey. Her show was an experience that stayed with me for a very long time, and on that train ride, feeling empowered with what I had to say, with a story that had been suppressed in so many ways, I managed to get the words out, and those words would become Suffer Puppet.
Sound?
The song's themes of mental health meant I wanted the story to be visually told on multiple levels of consciousness. The unconscious mind fueled by impulses and destructive desires, the conscious mind that might be repressing memories and avoiding the truth, and the wise mind, the one who sees the story in full, past, present, and future. This meant I would create 3 different personas: Gamer Hex, Survival Horror Protagonist Hex, and the Suffer Puppet Hex. So, how did me and my creative partner Lizbeth do this?
Bring your hands up a bit more. It'll be so awkward.
Video games have always been a passion of mine, a source of inspiration and escapism when I needed to escape real life.
Was that too dramatic? Nah, winning.
Yeah.
What does winning look like?
So, to represent the unconscious mind, I decided I wanted to turn myself into a PS1-style avatar and make my own version of Silent Hill, where I could revisit past versions of myself. Times of my life when I was acting out destructively and unconsciously, filled with a lot of pain and regret over things that were happening and things that had happened. Lizbeth, my amazing creative partner, used her incredible skills in learning software to make Suffer Puppet the game a real thing. On that same 10-hour train ride, she created the 3D avatar in Blender, using the character I portray in my music video for Kill the Pain and the Kerosene Heart lyric video. This character embodies a lot of resentment and destruction in a very defiant, fuck you, fun, and shameless kind of way, so it makes sense that they were the one who had a starring role in this music video as well. Liz then animated the figure and spent a long time designing the virtual playground where I would act out my aggressive fantasies. The urban landscape features a windowless room filled with garbage and misery, an ominous, endless hallway, a network of back alleys and empty streets, a seedy nightclub, and the void. Like Silent Hill, there's even a nightmare mode where the textures of the city rust and decay to portray my deteriorating mental state. Next, we needed to create a place where my gamer persona could escape reality, a dark corner of a bygone place where I could hide away. Taking inspiration from Y2K-era basements, me and Liz built and painted fake wood-paneled walls. We rented a vintage TV from a recycling center that unfortunately didn't work in the end, but it looked cool. And Liz collected all the VHS cases of the movies and the posters and the other props that you see scattered intentionally around the set. Everything was chosen carefully because it contributed to the story in some way. We shot the music video at Studio Usine in Montreal. They have this great black room that I can use my dark imagination to transform into anything. I hired extra help for this music video because of its scope. Liz was cinematographer and director. Sad Drainville did my hair and also helped as a production assistant. Sedge Hoffert, a hero and a friend who's worked with us a few times, used their knowledge of lights to give everything that cinematic feel. And Tariq A. Jamal helped out with set construction, set dressing, and everything in between. To be real, everybody did a little bit of everything. And I couldn't have done this without them. Filming is a grueling process, and it ended up being 2 12-hour days, but we got along really well, and they made it fun. The first day of shooting was all of the suffer puppet scenes. I'd rented this delightful prison bed from a prop house, and Liz had made the marionette control bar. Sad gelled my hair into the deranged puppet hair of my dreams, and the rest of the crew got the set and gear ready. The themes of decay that we see in the video game and in the Silent Hill franchise followed their way into this minimalist set. The lighting reflects this as well, with a sickly green hue that we amplified in the color grading phase.
That changes everything.
Yeah, the little details.
Yeah.
We had copious amounts of haze to add to that uncanny, surreal atmosphere. I was really nervous while filming this. As I said, Suffer Puppet is a vulnerable song, and this character, even in their honesty and wisdom, is somehow the most vulnerable.
Yeah,
Straight into the camera.
In my heart of hearts, I know that vulnerability is strength, and it's a shame that so much of the world sees it as a weakness, or even worse, as an opportunity for exploitation.
Tell me how I'm tougher, so I must like it rougher. But really, you just wanna see me suffer, motherfucker.
I know from experience that the expression of vulnerability, especially surrounding personal struggles such as mental health and sexuality, can be polarizing, evoking empathy in some and hostility in others. But I was able to push through, and I'm really proud of what we made. If anyone watching this sees themselves reflected in this character, I want you to know that I think you're a badass, and no one can take away your power or your dignity. I also always have a moment while filming music videos where I'm overwhelmed with concern that what I've envisioned won't come to pass. It happens every time. Luckily, we had planned everything out shot for shot, starting with an animatic. And in the end, I would be happy with the result. On day 2, Gamer Hex would descend into the basement and come face to face with everything they'd been running from, literally. And survival horror Hex would finally get the real-world satisfaction that they needed. My crew built the set while I got ready. They decorated the room with posters and movie cases that roughly correlate to the imagined time period that the scene takes place. Some of the posters are imagery that we've used in the promotion for previous songs. And the character for this scene is dressed as the same aspect of myself that I portray in my music video for Are You OK? You might have noticed already, but I like the interconnectedness between what I create. It feels like telling a story and building a world. And shout out to Banjo-Kazooie, the glimmer of hope in that set. I loved that game growing up. I was really impressed with how realistic it all looked in the end, and I'm not gonna lie, it felt pretty surreal sitting in there. The lighting for this one was tricky. How to make it realistic? How do we get it to be a dim, warm atmosphere while keeping everything bright enough? How do we replicate that TV glow? We used an app-controlled bulb to make the lamp flicker when things got more supernatural. Shout out to Sedge and all their great ideas for getting that atmosphere just right. They also figured out how to add a bluish light coming in from above to simulate the moon coming in through a window.
With the fabric there, that'll come out. We'll also have the green TV, so that's all green, and you can comp the other shot out. Exactly.
Highlight of the day was definitely shooting the shot where I come through the TV using green screen magic, a blatantly obvious homage to The Ring. It was harder than I imagined getting through that thing. I had to be careful not to touch the frame. In the end, it was weirdly easier to come out foot first, which put our own silly little spin on it. The last thing we shot was the mannequin smashing, and that was really fun. By the end of every music video, I've surpassed the doubt phase and entered into a kind of exhausted, ecstatic state, pumping with adrenaline, especially after smashing something with a crowbar. We needed to get out of the studio, so takedown started immediately, but I took some time to sit down and try to process everything and calm my nervous system. Because it wasn't only a physical feat, it was also the culmination of everything I'd imagined for this video. In some ways, I really did face parts of myself I still hadn't unpacked. I really did cross temporalities by dressing up as different versions and aspects of myself.
Like, suffer for art, but like, it's
Suffer from it. Suffer from art.
In the weeks that followed, we used the game screen recordings and the music video footage to make and release what I call the Suffer Puppet visual saga. I went through and selected the footage, putting the pieces together in a way where the story was told through both the acting and the movements. Liz finished up the game and added in the remaining scenes, then did several passes of effects and color grading. We were watching Arcane League of Legends at the time, which became an inspiration for the music video transitions. We used a combination of film burns, blurs, and quick overlaid cuts. We also realized that we had neglected to green screen the wall behind me during the ring shot, so Liz had to meticulously rotoscope each frame.
my dreams are coming true.
I love when it works out.
From the depths of my psyche to the world, Suffer Puppet now exists as its own audio-visual experience. While I'm still processing what bringing this project to fruition means to me on a personal level, I'm grateful that it has been received positively by so many people who've reached out to let me know they appreciate it, they like it, they even connect with it. Because of the heavy subject matter, I always say that I'm sorry that people relate to what I write and sing about, and what I want to theatrically display in music video format. But if it can make someone feel seen or less alone in a difficult situation, then I feel my duty as an artist is fulfilled. Remember, your courage to exist in this world with compassion despite hardship in the past is a testament to your strength. Your scars do not define you, nor do the labels that anyone may have put upon you for the things you didn't ask for. You are more powerful than anyone who's ever pushed you down, and it's never too late to take your power back. I'm so grateful for every one of you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Till next time.
Like last night.
Remember when you were on the bed? And you're me and the balls?
I'm good.